This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Now, you've seen a few guitars on the channel in recent weeks and months that belong to a friend of mine called David. Most recently, he loaned me a couple of Les Pauls, the Les Paul Standard that used to belong to Marty Friedman. And if you missed that video, go and check it out. I'll link to the video in the description here. So yeah, that Les Paul Standard that he loaned me, and the limited edition Les Paul Special with humbuckers that I also did a video about, and it was great fun to play. Anyway, he recently came to pick up those two guitars and take them back into the fold, and when he arrived, he brought another couple of guitars with him, starting with this one, which is a Gibson ES125 from, I believe, I'm prepared to be quoted, proven wrong on this, but I believe this is a 1952 Gibson, and this is very definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, by a country mile, the oldest guitar I've played, and the first time I've ever played any kind of what you could call a genuinely authentic vintage guitar, really. So he brought me this one to check out, and a more modern take on the same kind of instrument. This is a Godin. Is it Godin or Godin? I'm never quite sure. This is a Godin, we'll say Godin for the moment, Kingpin P90 in Cognac Burst. This has a cherry, I'm looking at some notes over there by the way, this has a cherry body, maple neck and a rosewood fretboard with a single P90, and the Gibson has a maple and poplar ply body with a mahogany neck and a rosewood board. So similar guitars, different timbers. Wonder what they sound like. Let's hear them both in a mix. And as usual, there's a full tab for that piece of music in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it and a backing track for you to play along with for yourself. All of that is up on my Patreon page. There's the address and the link is in the description. $3 or £2.50 a month gets you access to all of these extra bits and pieces and goodies that go along with these YouTube videos. A massive, massive heartfelt thank you to everybody who supports me in that or any of the other ways, all of which are also linked down below. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, these guitars are a bit of a first for me. First of all, it's the first time I've ever played this style of guitar, to my knowledge. I don't think I've ever played a big old school jazz box like this before, and I'm going to talk about the experience of playing it in just a moment. Let's go and grab the Gibson. And as I say, this is without a doubt the oldest guitar I've ever played, and it's the first time me getting my hands on, you know, a vintage guitar, a vintage Gibson, a Gibson guitar from the 1950s. It is quite a I know it's an experience, really. You do, honestly, for personally myself, you do get that feeling that you're holding a piece of history in your hands when you're playing it, and it does kind of make you play rather differently. Quite apart from the construction and the way the guitars behave. Playing both of these guitars, the observation I would make is that it's a little bit like if you're used to, like I am, kind of dossing around in a t-shirt and jogging bottoms. It's like, imagine putting on a Savile Row suit. You're going to carry yourself a little bit differently. It's going to kind of make you feel a little bit different. That's very much, the experience of playing these guitars. It's a different playing experience. A little bit like when I did that review of the Line 6 Variax, which a lot of the sounds on that guitar are, properly authentic. There's some that you think, yeah, well, that's a little bit like an impersonation, but there's a lot of the tones that guitar cranks out are, very, very convincing. But the problem with it is that it doesn't replicate the playing experience of picking up those individual guitars, and that playing experience makes you play in a different way. You can dial in a Telecaster tone on that Line 6 Variax and get a really good Telecaster tone, but it doesn't feel like you're playing a Telecaster, so you don't play it like one. The actual physical, tactile experience of playing a guitar does affect how you play it, and this is very, very true with this. Yes, you can bend strings on it, but it's almost like, again, going to that sort of Savile Row suit, high society kind of analogy. It's almost like your butler is saying, "Are you sure, sir?" It doesn't encourage you to do that, so you start playing a little bit differently. Obviously, one thing that we as lead guitarists in a rock and blues sense, we do all the time is, when we're kind of bored playing in A minor up here, we'll kind of, just scoot up to the A minor first position up here. You don't get that option on this guitar. It's out of reach, so that sort of limited access to the upper register does make you think a little bit differently in terms of phrasing. How can I get more mileage out of the notes that are available, rather than just scuttling off up the top end for some high end kind of bendy wailing banshee shenanigans. It's just, even when you pick it up and just play regular blues licks, it does sound somehow more sophisticated when you're playing a guitar like this. I was struggling to think of an analogy, and I think I can probably sum it up best by saying, imagine if Frank Sinatra sang a Led Zeppelin song. It's the same lyrics, the same melody, but it's going to sound different. It's just going to be, a different experience listening to it and, doing it. The difference between this guitar and, if I just tilt this way, you can see that thin line semi-acoustic on the wall behind me, the semi-solid, the Larry Carlton H7. I was thinking that this would be a little bit like playing one of those, but it is so different. As I say, on that guitar, on the 335 style guitar, let's say, you've still got all that upper register access. It's still kind of perfectly happy for you to bend strings, and it's just much more of a regular kind of solid-bodied guitar, that one, that brings with it some of the kind of tonal characteristics of one of these. This is like, as I say, it's like you're dressed in a completely different suit, and it makes you behave and act differently. So much so that I am actually thinking, is this kind of guitar missing from my current toolkit? And where do you go when there's a guitar that you're curious about? A guitar that you think, yeah, maybe I should own one of those, maybe I should think about getting something like that, but I don't want to spend a fortune. I'll tell you where you go. Harley Benton. I am currently thinking about grabbing one of these. just to give myself something of this nature, and if I like it, well, we'll see about maybe modding it and putting better electronics in it and all that kind of good stuff. But we shall see. It's I'm not saying I'm getting one of those Harley Benton Manhattans. I'm just saying it's made me think seriously about the prospect. I really wish I'd had something like this guitar, or that Harley Benton, or the Godin you can see, or that you saw earlier, when I did that Charlie Christian solo a little while back, when I did that was it Rose Room, because that would have been super authentic to play it on something like this. So there you go, folks. That is my experience. A couple of firsts playing on, first of all, first time I've ever played a vintage Gibson guitar from the 1950s. As I say, by country mile, the oldest guitar I've ever played. And my first time ever playing one of these, this big sort of jazz box style guitars. It has been an absolutely fantastic experience, and I just want to say a massive thank you once again to David for trusting me with the loan of, let's face it, a guitar which is only going to go up in value, and just trusting me with keeping it safe and everything. But there you go. Yeah, fantastic experience. Thank you so much, David, and thank you all for watching, because that is pretty much the video for today, folks. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and why not give me a like while you're at it. Don't forget, as always, the live stream every Friday, 5 p.m. UK time, where we drink beer and talk music and guitars. A fantastic way to kick off the weekend, and I would love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.